Previously on Promises Fulfilled. The summit of Adigan Pass. This is absolutely amazing. Before making a 300-mile push to the Kenai Peninsula, we took the opportunity to fill the water tanks at the Riley Creek Campground inside Denali National Park. This, among many other amenities, was a reason for our desired second stay here at the campground during our time in Alaska. Stocked up on supplies and essentials, we made the long trek south in search for camp, though foresight tells me this would be a top contender of places stayed so far. As beautiful as this site is, we always have to remember to tread lightly, folks. Fire pits are not a trash can. Let's do better. Let's be better. Clean up after yourself when you guys are out here. Like the mother she is, picking up after the trash left by others. Thank you, Camp Chef Mom. All of YouTube thanks you. Cheers.
Oh my gosh, cheers, Michael. Great find.
So not gonna lie, I was a little nervous coming in because it was just non-stop rain on the entire drive in, and I'm thinking, great, we're gonna have zero views, we're gonna be hiding underneath the awning the entire night and going to bed. But thankfully, maybe about 20 minutes after we got here, the rain let up, the clouds are starting to part ever so slightly, and my goodness, you guys, look at this. This probably ranks among the top 2-3 campsites I've ever been at and stayed at. This is spectacular. I am kicking myself in the butt for not having a kayak or a fishing rod at the least, because this would be probably some epic time out on the water. But you know what? There's always next time and the next trip up here. But yeah, we're hanging out. We got the fireplace going, enjoying a nice little beverage, and gonna have a nice meal later this evening. But guys, put Alaska on your list. It is fantastic. Come up here, do it, make it happen.
dang.
That was good.
See if you can beat that one.
That was what, 6?
Maybe. Big old jumps in between them. That's so cute.
3.
So instead of like kind of overarching
Go.
it, kind of like be lateral with the leg, and I kind of whip it sideways.
Okay. Did you see that?
Just more oomph
1,
behind
2,
it.
3, 4, 5. That was 5.
If you get more oomph behind
But
it.
it was 5.
I know. You did good. Yeah, if your rock turns, then you're done.
That last one you did was good.
That's a baby.
With a quick start to the morning and finally being able to witness an Alaskan moose, we were on our way towards the Kenai Fjords National Park. Our plan for the morning was to get a quick hike in to witness the Exit Glacier. Established as an official park in 1980 to protect the Alaskan wildlife and landscape, the Kenai Fjords National Park spans over 600,000 acres, with 60% of the park covered by snow and ice. The park is home to only a few trails found at the end of the Exit Glacier Road, which spurs off the Seward Highway just outside of the town of Seward. At the end of this 8-mile-long road is the Exit Glacier, along with the Nature Center and trails that offer views of the glacier and the Harding Ice Field. Pretty incredible to think that in 2010, this is where the glacier at one point was, and then the viewpoint way back over there, that was 2005. So in 5 years, that's how much lost, and I'm probably estimate that at, what, 50, 60 yards, you think, or so? That's insane, in 5 years. And today, it's tucked way up there, which is probably another 100 yards or so. So, insane to think about that. Yeah. Goes as a reminder to get out and experience these landscapes now, as they are constantly changing in dynamic ways. I will say though, although popular due to the ease of access, this hike was certainly one of the most scenic viewpoints I've witnessed. Definitely put it on your list should you happen to venture out this way. After grabbing a tasty local lunch of fish and chips, we were off to find camp for the evening. Luckily, there was a spot not too far outside of town that would be a welcome surprise given the scenery. Well, we found camp for the evening of day 12 here. As you can see, the bugs are out in full force. So, got my little netting on. See how the rest of the evening goes. But we found a nice little tucked away, secluded spot with some vegetation and some trees and bushes and whatnot to protect us from the wind, since being exposed out wide open on the river was pretty harsh. So this will be good. It's just with less wind equals more bugs, but hopefully that'll die off this evening. But yeah, not bad. Beautiful area for sure. Can you see it? Yep. Just for proof. Just in case people don't believe me. They're not even like mosquitoes. They're like gnats or something. So they're just more annoying. I've eaten like 5 of them already.
The next morning, we were greeted yet again by rainy conditions, though we didn't let that damper the mood as breakfast was on point. The plans for today was to head further south for the oceanfront views at Anchor Point. One theme for this trip was the amount of roadwork construction that was taking place on nearly all roads we encountered. This one, however, was more memorable as it reminded me of the standstill traffic experienced on a daily basis back home in Washington. As we came into Anchor Point, we decided to venture on one of the roads leading down to the beach. My excitement of exploring a new area got the best of me as I quickly learned the hard way of needing to look before you leap.
Well, kids, always see how soft the rocks are, so you don't have to try and use max tracks to get out from 5 feet from the road. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is very soft sand, rock, seaweed. So guys, don't do what I did and just go for it. Always kind of test the area before you just drive in, and especially be mindful of the recovery gear that you have. It would have been a lot easier with 4 tracks or even a snatch strap, but with 2 we made do with just a few attempts, and that's all you got to do. So just take the situation one step at a time and you'll get there. Don't freak out that you're stuck, but I gotta wash my hands. This was a little stinky, probably one of the stinkier recoveries that I've done. But we're out, we'll find camp.
Thankfully, Mom didn't follow suit behind me to further the embarrassment of needing to recover both vehicles as opposed to the one. Though with the excitement of the afternoon out of the way, we made for a nearby campground to post up for the evening, giving us a chance to simply enjoy the views.
Well guys, as you can hear behind me, we made it to Anchor Point here on the far south end on the Kenai Peninsula. Absolutely beautiful here. Got the waves, the crashing waves there behind me. The rain finally let off. I don't think we've actually had a single day of no rain this entire trip, and even if we have, it came later in the evenings or started out that way. But we did find a campground here kind of in the earlier afternoon. It's nice to actually just set up camp earlier than late in the evening like we have been. Been driving a lot of miles, so it's nice to just relax a little bit at camp, take in the views, and just add yet another scenery list to our overall accomplishments. And we've seen the massive mountains of the Brooks Range way up north, all the lakes and river spots that we've stayed at so far, and the wide open plain area on the far end of the Denali Highway. So it's really nice to kind of take in a whole new landscape view with the ocean here behind me. So really happy with that. But honestly, it's nice to just be able to hang out a little bit at camp, catch up on a couple of our favorite YouTube shows, and just relax. So as this trip is winding down, it's definitely one where we're starting to reflect back on all our experiences so far, and thinking back on it is just absolutely fantastic. And guys, put Alaska on your list. It doesn't have to be the most grand trip in the entire world, and it doesn't have to be several months long. You just got to get up here, pick what you want to see, and just set out and do it. So I know we still have a couple more days left, but I honestly cannot wait to begin editing all this footage. I have well over several hundred gigs of content of photo and video. So I know this is going to be a very, very exciting series to begin editing. But with that, yeah, we're just going to hang out at camp a little bit more for this evening before turning in, and plan to head back probably towards Hope tomorrow and check out that area for our final day of camping before flying back to Seattle. But man, good stuff, good stuff. Put Alaska on your list, make it happen. This is truly a fantastic place to experience and embrace.
Welcome to Hope, Alaska. Less than a 2-hour drive from Anchorage, this small town was all the rage when gold was initially discovered back in 1888, which soon after brought over 3,000 gold seekers hoping to strike it rich. The community was soon a thriving social center with stores, hotels, social halls, community councils, post offices, and saloons. Unfortunately, Hope's heyday was short-lived. By 1898, news of the famous Klondike Gold Rush in Canada's Yukon had spread, and most of the miners in Hope packed up for their next opportunity. Among the original buildings still in use is the Hope Social Hall, which was built in 1902. Today, Hope is a known local gym for great opportunities of fishing, rafting, camping, hiking, and surprisingly incredible tasting food. Camp Chef Mom and I decided to take the day off from cooking to enjoy the local eats and what would soon be known for their evening entertainment and live music. While nearly everything on the menu sounded good, what really caught my eye was the chef-famous chicken wings. Naturally, I had to order and compare against those from before, and let me say, these were by far among the very best. That paired with a beverage of choice, and you got yourself a fine meal. With some of the best hospitality and atmosphere so far, we decided to stay a while longer and embrace the local flair of the evening's live music. Rocking out the Creek Bend Cafe on this fine Friday night was none other than the band known as Loaded Karma. This 5-piece crew stole the hearts of everyone as they performed reggae hits with a banjo, a pink guitar, and memorable attire. The band had certainly brought a smile to our face, as well as a fun evening to celebrate our last night here in Alaska.
Well, good morning, folks, and welcome to day 15 of our trip here. We are in Hope, Alaska, and last night we spent the night in town. It was a really cool little place. They had some live music going, great food, and just an awesome atmosphere. So we ended up finding a open site here at the campground just at the very far end of town, which was all of a few minute drive. So we landed here late last night, but as per usual, and as the Alaskan mornings start, we have rain. I don't think we've started a single day on this trip on clear skies, but that's okay. This is our last night. This is the last night we had sleeping in the tents, our last pack down of the tents. But we are going to move to give ourselves a little bit more room to make some breakfast before heading back towards Anchorage. But man, I'm glad we came here. Hope is a really cool, unique little town. A lot of history, a lot of friendly folks here. Fun place. Put it on your itinerary. All right, last time. Can she do it? Lifted 4Runner versus 5'5" mom. Oh, with a little bit of water splashback. So this one's been tough because we have to stand all over the truck and everything due to our vertical difficulties packing this big 4-person tent away. But with leaving one of the ladder rungs down, you can actually get a little bit more leverage. But there we go. Always got to give her a hard time. It's always difficult when anything comes to an end, especially a first-time experience like this in Alaska. Out of the 15-day journey here, there's absolutely nothing I would have changed on our itinerary. Well, maybe one thing. Odd how the sunshine decided to come out in full effect on our final day as opposed to the weeks before. Before getting to the airport, we had one final stop to make before returning back to Washington. Craig and Brooke, the owners of Alaska Overlander, graciously invited us to their home, not only to drop off the rigs, but to host a lunch and catch up on our past 2 weeks on the road. Let me say, the stories from our days here in Alaska will forever be memories held close to the heart, and I can't thank Craig and Brooke enough for helping us turn this trip into a reality. As lunch came and went, so did the hours leading up to our flight back to Seattle and the realization of life at home waiting for us. 15 days, over 2,600 miles driven, 68 hours on the road, and a total ascent of over 90,000 feet in elevation, our time in Alaska was certainly well spent. The landscapes witnessed, history learned, people met, food enjoyed, and personal goals and challenges accomplished made these last 2 weeks simply unforgettable. Dad, this one was for you.
just beautiful. That's the word for this whole series. Beautiful.
Beautiful. That would be the word.
Your dad would have loved this.
Until next time, safe travels.